I, Vice Chair Thomas Kyle, call a virtual electrical and elevator board meeting of March 24th, 2022 to order at 9:30 a.m. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. Chairman Thomas Kyle?
Aye, here.
William Barlow?
Here.
Amy Byer? Amy Byer? Okay, we'll get back to her. Elizabeth Bunga? Elizabeth Bunga? I don't see her name here. Randy Carmody?
Here.
Sarah Curry?
Here.
Jon Flegel?
Here.
Rob McNeil?
Here.
Ryan Richards? Ryan Richards? Richard Rudder? Richard Rudder? He was having problems joining this morning, so I'll come back to him as well. Okay. And new member, Al Schacher. Al? Okay. Randy Smith.
Here.
Thank you, Randy. Okay, we're missing one person, so I'll do roll call for the missing individuals. Amy Byer.
Debbie, I did get a text from Ryan that he was having trouble connecting.
Yeah, I sent him the connection information as well too, and I didn't get an additional email. I got one from him as well, but let me just do this and see if one of the other members has arrived. Amy Byer. Elizabeth Bunga.
Here.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Ryan Richards. I don't see his name yet. Richard Rudder. And our new member, Al Schacher.
Here.
Thank you, Al. Apologize for this morning. Well, Mr. Chair, we do have a quorum, but we are still missing Richard Rudder, Ryan Richards, and Amy Byer.
Okay, right.
If you wanted to give them a few more moments, we can, or you can proceed with the meeting.
I know that they were just on a different Zoom meeting with me, so I know they were working, but we can give them a few minutes, but we can go ahead with what we have going on right now. Are there any changes to the agenda that any of the members want to make?
Well, Mr. Chair, I do have something to say. The board agenda is being further amended by removing the first two enforcement cases on agenda item 3A. So if you want to hear more on that, the enforcement section will let you know about that. So you'll be voting on 4 cases. And then another change, agenda item 7C is being removed completely from the agenda at the request of the individual. So, Mr. Chair, if you will rule the further amended agenda in order of business approved, if there's no other changes.
Okay, any other changes? Okay, Vice Chair Kyle ruled the further amended agenda and order of business is approved. Approval of the draft minutes. Are there any changes or anybody see anything wrong with them? Okay. My Vice Chair Kyle ruled the drafted minutes of January 27th, 2022 final. The date of the next meeting is May 26th, 2022.
Ryan Richards.
I've got Ryan. Yes, Ryan.
Hey, Tom, are you in the meeting?
Yes.
I'm not able to connect to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Tom.
All right.
Thank you, Ryan.
Okay.
No, it took a while for me to get into the meeting also. It sat there and didn't connect. You know, if there's a waiting room that needs to be sent in.
There is a waiting room, Mr. Chair. And I just found that I can accept everybody in at the same time. So there won't be a further delay. I apologize for that.
Okay. I don't see anybody else joining at the moment, but okay. I'd like to welcome our new member, Al Schneider. And after Senate held a floor vote, Al Schacher was officially confirmed to the Electrical Elevator Board. His 4-year term began March 1st, 2022 and ends February 28th, 2026. He holds a vacant seat of electrical equipment supplier, otherwise expired, qualifies by experience in industry. Thank you for your willingness to serve. Would you like to say a couple of words about?
Yeah, I'd take a moment. So I'm Al Schacher. I'm an Oregon native. Went to school at Oregon State, got a master's degree down there, worked for a startup company in Corvallis for a number of years. And now I am an application engineer for Eaton Electric. So electrical equipment manufacturer working in commercial and residential construction. So as an application engineer, I work with the design community, where I help assist with design projects and upgrades to ensure that facilities are safe, cost-effective, and code compliant with a lot of our existing infrastructure and new construction. So I'm looking forward to getting more involved in the board, and hopefully I can add some value to some of the dialogue.
Okay, thank you very much. I guess I would kind of like to wait till the other members are able to join us, since they're attempting to, before we go on to the elections and motions required. Do you see any problem with that, Tyler?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, so if we'll skip over to, I guess, public comment. That's item G2. Tyler, is there any public comment?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. No, that we have not received any public comment, but I would like to check if anyone is connected to this meeting who wishes to make a public comment. I'm not hearing anyone, Mr. Chair.
Okay. Would you like to bring everybody up to date on the new staff changes?
This is Todd Smith, the PTS manager for the Building Codes Division. I'll take it for Tyler here. We got a long list. First one is I am now the manager of the PTS section. So hello, board. Julia Heyer, who was previously a senior policy advisor, is now the manager of our enforcement section. Andy Bolton, who is a policy analyst, has moved into the senior policy advisor vacated by Julia. We've hired a new senior policy advisor to handle some of our legislative work, Terry Watson. She comes from Oregon OSHA. I'm not sure if this one is new for you or not, but Graham Roney is our new licensing manager. I believe he's on the video meeting today. And then we have a new contested case representative, Kathy Roll, who is also, I think, here with us today. Had a lot of staff changes here in the couple of years here with the pandemic, but hopefully we're fully staffed these days and keeping you up to speed. Happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Okay. Any of your new people have any comments that they would like to make? Okay, we'll
Not hearing.
okay. Okay, we'll move on to agenda 3A. This is consent orders. And Michael, would you like to discuss the consent orders and maybe explain the 3 that were removed, or 6?
Good morning, Chair, members of the board. For the record, my name is Michael Mayorga-Hamilton, contested case representative for the division. We've removed the first 2 cases from the agenda, which are C 2020-144 Rivercast Custom Remodeling and C 2020-150 Jose Ramiro Rivera. And I believe these cases were handled by Megan Sackett, and she is going to be filling you in on why these cases were removed from the agenda.
Good morning. For the board, these items were removed because they needed to be re-signed by the respondent after a clerical error in the consent order. So they're going to be re-signed and then re-presented to the boards at a later date. If there are any more questions, then I am more than happy to answer them, or if anyone would like any more details, then please feel free to ask away.
Okay, so we have 3 remaining contested for the, yes,
4.
consent, 4
We have 4, sir.
consent orders.
Yes, correct. So yeah, before the board, we have summary of the consent orders that were recently negotiated by the division on behalf of the board. And we have entered into 4 consent orders since our last board meeting. All settlements, including the amount owed and suspended civil penalties, fall within the guidelines on the matrix, and they contain the standard conditions. The first case is C 2020-70 in the matter of Randy Evans. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $5,000 because respondent permitted a person to make electrical installations who did not hold a electrical contractor's license and that was acting outside the scope of his limited residential electrician's license. Respondent also incorrectly or submitted personal information to obtain the permit under the homeowner's exemption when respondent was going to hire someone else to perform the electrical installation. The respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $1,500 with the remaining $3,500 suspended. The second case on the agenda is C 2021-81 in the matter of Patriot Electric. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for allowing electrical apprentices who were not approved for indirect supervision to perform electrical installations without the appropriate electrical license. Respondent has agreed to pay $250 with the remaining $1,750 suspended. The third case on the agenda, C 2021-82, Corey Allen Gray, related to the previous case. The respondent in this case is assessed a penalty of $2,000 for allowing electrical apprentices who are not approved for indirect supervision to perform electrical installations without the appropriate license. Respondent has agreed to pay a penalty of $250 with the remaining $1,750 suspended. And the fourth and final case on the agenda in the Brandon Gray, it's also related to the previous 2 cases. The respondent in this case was assessed a penalty of $2,000 for allowing electrical apprentices who were not approved for indirect supervision to perform electrical installations without the appropriate electrical license. Respondent is agreed to pay $250 with the remaining $1,750 suspended. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys may have.
Does the board have any questions? Go ahead, Michael.
Oh, and a vote is required on these matters.
Okay.
I'd like to make a motion to adopt the 4 cases proposed for resolution as outlined in the Enforcement Board report and issue final orders.
Okay, a motion has been made. Debbie, would you call the roll for the vote?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Randy Carmody,
Aye.
Sarah Curry,
Aye.
Jon Flegel,
Aye.
Robert McNeil,
Aye.
Ryan Richards. We lost Ryan, and it doesn't look has come back yet. So L. Schacher,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
and acting as chair, Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Acting Chair, the motion passes.
Great, thank you.
Thank
Keith,
you.
would you like to give us the electrical program update?
Good morning, Chair Kyle, members of the board. So I just want to welcome Al to the board and thank you for being part of this and, part of the process. I appreciate you, taking the time to do this. So what I have for you today is an update on it's a House Bill 2180, which has to do with EV parking infrastructure for new construction. These rules will replace the current EV pilot program and will be part of the structural code requirements. We do not anticipate any changes to the electrical code at this time. And then building code should have a draft version of the rules ready for review for the next meeting. So I just wanted to keep everybody apprised that was in the works. So I think that's pretty short this morning. That's all I had, unless you had any questions for me.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
Okay, I see that Ryan has joined us. Would you add him to the roll, Debbie?
Yes, I will.
I guess the only one we're missing is Richard Rudder. I don't see that he's joined.
Mr. Chair, I just sent him a message to join by phone if he can't get connected.
Okay. Okay, well, I move on to agenda item 3C, elevator update. Warren?
Good morning, Chair Kyle, members of the board. We're changed, battling the same battle of trying to get caught up in overdues with the staff we have. And happy to report minimal falls on escalators the last couple of months, which is good for a change. Probably due to lack of not that many people traveling, as the news reports. Anyway, that is the summation of my my reports this meeting. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Tyler, would you like to talk about item, I guess, 7A?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. For the record, Tyler Glaze, policy analyst for the division. So from time to time, the electrical board will receive requests from individuals asking for a hardship waiver for their continuing education requirements. And this is one of those requests. If you will take a look at Mr. Burden's request there, he wrote out his request in that letter, which is required. And if you look just below the two certificates provided in your agenda, There's a list of rules for extension for hardship or illness. But just to give a general overview, the appropriate board of division, so that would be the electrical and elevator board, may extend the period for complying with continuing education requirements or for complying with renewal requirements in cases of hardship or illness. The request for extension must be in writing, must describe the hardship or illness, describe why the applicant is unable to comply, and state when the person will complete the continuing education requirements. And Mr. Chair and members of the board, this is entirely up to you as to whether or not to approve on this basis, and this will require a motion.
Through the chair, Tyler, now, if I understand correctly, he did have 12 months to get his license complete, and then additional time was granted also for COVID. So it was almost close to 18 months to get hours and pay the fee. Is that correct?
Board Member Richards, yes, that's correct. They do have, there is also a grace period that's allowed after the end of the requirement cycle that allows individuals to get in, get their continuing education requirements in. And I do believe that we extended those also due to COVID.
Okay. Well, I would like to make a motion to deny the request based on extended time, and I'm concerned that if we make exceptions, then there'd be a flood of other licensing applications, and they have adequate time to get all their hours in and continuing ed hours and pay the fee. That's my motion.
Okay. Motion's been made to deny the request from Ronald Burden for an extension. Debbie, would you call the roll?
Yes, sir. I'm going to just call everyone because I think we have everyone now. William Barlow. Okay. I'll call him again here in a minute. Amy oh, thank you, William. Amy Byer. Okay, I see she's in the waiting room. Amy Byer. I'll come back to Amy. Elizabeth Bunga.
Aye.
Randy Carmody.
Aye.
Sarah Curry.
Aye.
Jon Flegel.
Aye.
Robert McNeil.
Aye.
Brian Richards.
Aye.
Richard Rudder.
Aye.
Al Schacher.
Aye.
Randy Smith.
Aye.
And acting as chair, Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
And Mr. Chair, Amy Byer should be in right now. If you could just explain to her what the vote was so she can vote on this.
The vote was, the vote was to deny the extension for Ronald Burden for the extension for his licensing.
I am aye for that as well. I was able to read the packet ahead of time, and I apologize for entering late. Sorry, I was using the wrong link. Thank you.
Right. Thank you. Okay, Debbie, that was the full vote.
Yes, motion passes unanimously. I apologize.
Okay, we'll move on to section 7B, review request from Micah Willis.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may, again, Tyler Glaze, policy analyst for the division. This is an identical request from a different individual with different circumstances. If you would look on your board packet, again, they have attached a letter to explain their circumstances. And again, Mr. Chair, this will require a motion as to whether or not this warrants an extension.
Through the chair, I would like to also make the similar motion to Mr. Willis based on the same grounds that I previously stated, that they have adequate time to get all their continuing ed hours in for the 3-year period that their license is current. So I'd like to deny this request.
Okay. The motion's been made to deny the request for Micah Willis for an extension. Debbie, would you call the roll for the vote?
Yes, sir. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Randy Carmody,
Aye.
Sarah Curry,
Aye.
Jon Flegel,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Schacher,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
and acting as chair, Vice Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Acting Chair, the motion passes unanimously.
Okay, now that we have the full board in attendance, we'll move back to item 1G. This is board elections. And Tyler, could you explain what we need to do?
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Again, Tyler Glaze, policy analyst for the division. So in the voting process, essentially what will happen is I will open the nominations for a new chair. Individuals that must be nominated must accept their nomination, and there ideally would be a second. So that individual, if they were nominated, would then accept, if they choose to accept. The nominees may then speak on their interests and qualifications. If more than one nominee is nominated and accepts the nomination, votes will be taken in the order that the individuals were nominated. And a motion is approved a motion is needed in order to approve that proposed nominee. If the votes on the first or any individual down the line is unanimous, that voting will end and that individual will receive the position. But otherwise it will go based on who received the most votes in the nomination process. And if there's only one nominee, a motion will be needed and a simple majority will be required. So Mr. Chair, if I may, I would like to open the nominations for voting for the chair position.
I would like to nominate Mr. Thomas Kyle. I think he's doing a great job as acting chair, and it's high time he's earned the gavel and takes on the chair role.
I'll second that motion.
And Vice Chair Kyle, do you accept?
I do accept. I guess if I need to make a statement, I would say that I've been in the electrical trade since 1965 and been an electrical contractor for at least 45 years. So, and on this board for, this must be 5. And I would accept the nomination.
Do we have any other nominations for the position of chair? Debbie, will you please take a vote then in that case?
Yes, I will. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Randy Carmody,
Aye.
Sarah Curry,
Aye.
Jon Flegel,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Schacher,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Motion passes unanimous. Congratulations, Chairman.
Right, thank you all. I guess now that I'm the official chair, we'll proceed for the vote for vice chair. Tyler, would you explain that also?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tyler Glaze, policy analyst for the division. This functions exactly like the vote for chair. First, we start with nominations. And again, we will proceed depending on how many individuals are nominated and how many accept those nominations. And we will go down the line based on that. So I would like to, if Mr. Chair permits, open the nominations for the position of vice chair.
Through the chair, I'd like to nominate Ryan Richards.
And do we have a second for that nomination?
I second that.
I would like to respectfully decline the position. While I would be honored, I would like to nominate Jon Flegel for the position. I'm currently busy enough and don't want to add any more work to my load, so I would like to nominate Jon Flegel.
And do we have a second for that nomination?
I'll second it, Rob McNeil.
And Board Member Flegel, do you accept?
I would accept, thank you.
Would you like to say anything about your interests and qualifications?
Well, I haven't been in the trade since 1965, but I have been inside wireman for quite some years, and an honor to be a part of this board and nominated as vice chair.
Do we have any other nominees for the position of vice chair? Mr. Chair, I'm hearing none. So Debbie, would you please call a roll?
Yes, I will. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Randy Carmody,
Aye.
Sarah Curry,
Aye.
Jon Flegel,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Schacher,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Congratulations, John. You are the vice chair. Motion
you.
passes unanimously.
Okay, thank you all. We'll go back to the agenda. We're skipping item 7C and we're going to item 7D. Tyler, again, you're up.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, members of the board. Again, Tyler Glaze, policy analyst for the division. So for this round of continuing education applications, the committee received 23 applications from 9 organizations. 10 of those courses that applied were recommended for approval, 6 were recommended for denial, 5 instructors were recommended for approval, and 2 instructors were recommended for denial. If you look just below on your agenda, below that memorandum, there is a breakdown in the matrix of the cases that were approved and denied, and I am happy to answer any questions that board members may have. Otherwise, Mr. Chair, this will require a motion.
Okay.
I motion to approve the amended committee recommendations for approval or denial of courses or instructors.
I'll second that.
Okay, the motion has been made and seconded to approve the recommendations of the committee. Debbie, would you call a roll?
Yes, Mr. Chair. William Barlow,
Aye.
Amy Byer,
Aye.
Elizabeth Bunga,
Aye.
Randy Carmody,
Aye.
Sarah Curry,
Aye.
Rob McNeil,
Aye.
Ryan Richards,
Aye.
Richard Rudder,
Aye.
Al Schacher,
Aye.
Randy Smith,
Aye.
Vice Chair Jon Flegel,
Aye.
and Chair Thomas Kyle.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, the motion passes unanimous.
Okay, item 8, the technical bulletin. Is somebody speaking towards that?
Mr. Chair, this is Tyler Glaze, policy analyst for the division, if I may. This is just a brief technical bulletin. It's about 8 pages long that the Building Codes Division puts out. This February update's related to the Oregon Residential Specialty Code. So it's not directly targeted towards the electrical industry. However, members of the industry may be interested in taking a look at it. It's primarily related to the insulation and installation of ducts. That link in your agenda and or help sheet will send you directly to that technical bulletin. It's also posted on the Building Codes Division website if any of you are interested.
Okay, thank you. Okay, it's not on the agenda, but I know our next meeting will be either in person or hybrid. Could you speak to that, to someone, about how that's going to work?
Mr. Chair, we haven't figured out the details yet, but we will notify everyone before May 1st happens.
Okay. So we have the option of either attending in person or attending through Zoom. Is that the goal?
Hopefully.
Okay. Okay, with that done, there being no further business of the March 24th, 2022 meeting, this is the meeting's adjourned at 10:05.